If you don't go support the ones made, they're not going to make any more.
Yeah, of course, definitely.
So if you don't go support the ones that the white director did, they're not going to give a Hispanic director his own.
Yeah.
So you have to go see those in order for the other stuff to get made. McFarlane USA is a fairly recent film that did not do very well in the box office. And that should have. It's about migrant workers' kids. Ryan doing a great thing, coming out of it. And it's another one of those movies. There's a Cesar Chavez movie with, what's his name? Michael Pena.
Michael Pena.
That
Scientologist.
Is he really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he is.
No wonder he gets so many roles. Another one that went under the bus.
Yeah.
HBO movie, HBO Walkout.
Yeah.
Another one goes on. And these are fairly recent films.
Yeah.
So it's an issue that we need to support them. And once they start making enough, then we fight for, hey, let's get a Latino director or a Latino director behind that.
It's also a growing movement that's been happening these last 6 years. Like, where people are, like, becoming more aware of their culture and stuff. And I hate to say this, but it's a chipster movement. If what a lot of people don't know is a chipster movement is a Chicano hipster going like, oh man, like, you're Latina or a land X owner, I'm gonna go support you. Yeah. It's like now with like, oh, you're a black owned business, I'm gonna go support you. I'm gonna go support this, and that's what we're seeing now. And like a show like Los Spookies on HBO getting produced, and like that being
the politically correct, like the political correctness is seeping into the culture, and it's having like that's one of the positive things that are coming out.
And it's not like we haven't seen like Mexican directors not do good in America, like fucking Alfonso Cuarón, Alejandro Inarritu.
No, seriously, the year of the Oscars, Oh So White, it was actually pretty brown.
Yeah.
Just saying. That's my biggest pet peeve about that year was like, it's Oscars, Oh So White, a fucking Mexican won Best Director. They could argue that his film was about a white person in space floating around, but he still won.
Think about that guy created that shit. Like he made like a lot of those movies are super crazy, and he kind of almost changed Hollywood in a sense, dude. Sorry. Like those movies are super iconic. Even like people that don't know Spanish, like watch Amores Perros or watch Y Tu Mamá También or Pam's Labyrinth, which is like a horror classic to a lot of people,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just want to say like both those, Y Tu Mamá, Pam's Labyrinth, are probably my foray into foreign films.
Yeah,
which is not even that foreign to us. It's just
this is right next door, right? Right next door.
But like those are the ones when I was still kind of young that I was like, oh, I'm willing to read this and watch it, type of deal. So like, I don't know how we took a great family film and started talking about this.
No, but it's good. It's good to have an argument about it because it's good to educate people and to put it into perspective. Like, if you don't do this, like, yo, this is what's gonna happen, and this is what's gonna end up happening. And think about like even like I say this all the time. And I tell people all the time. Think about how long it took for Hollywood to pay attention to the African American culture. And like how much time it took for them to like get like going, Mm-hmm. And it's like, now we have to get the ball rolling as well. Like now everybody, South Korean just won Best Director for a movie that's totally in Korean. So I mean,
what it was in? Did not know.
He cleaned up.
He cleaned up.
Yeah, they swept, didn't they? They won everything.
Yeah, pretty much. Parasite.
No, I totally agree. But then there's my side.
Okay.
Which is, I believe, a majority of Americans are mutts.
Yeah.
Right? And you don't really get to see the mixed family stories anymore. Or at all. You don't get to see, like, oh, this is the white Christmas, and then I'm going to go to my Mexican Christmas. Those stories need to be told.
Yeah.
Because totally that really exists and happens. Like, even... I look fucking white, but like I know, right? It's like I'm see-through, but like you could go. I have a Mexican side of family that's Christmas at midnight. Like we say the rosary for that funeral, like things like that. Like done it. And it's kind of, I want to show, if I could ever do something, you learning your culture through this while also experience a different culture altogether. And that's why I think they missed it by changing it and not having the kid be from Mexico and learning. And I wouldn't have argued that until you brought that up. Because I would have been like, this is a perfect film. But knowing that that was the original idea and how invested in that idea I am for about the Blue Beetle, of being that exact storyline, I'm 100% behind it, and I wish they didn't change it. But yeah, that's me. Great movie's great. Watch the movie. Have your kids watch the movie. If you're racist, watch it in Spanish. You'll love it 10 times more, because then you like get mad and throw shit at the TV because you don't understand what's going on. And you're like, you're in America, but you're a dumbass because you put it in Spanish. It's your fault. But yeah, well, I'll succeed my time to James.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed this movie. I actually saw it in theaters when it came out, which was a really fun experience. I actually took Jordan. Me and Alyssa went. It was really fun. I actually learned a lot of things about Mexican culture or Latin culture, which I didn't know. I had no idea what an alebrije was, or what like an ofrenda was. I had no idea what that was. Those are things that Alyssa had already known, but she's not really into that either. That's not something that she doesn't have an ofrenda or anything like that. Like, her family doesn't. That's just something she knows about those things. So it was really cool to watch the movie and then see her, and then after the movie talk to her mom about it and kind of talk about, like, you know, how come we don't have this, or thinking about, you know, starting an ofrenda, you know, for her family members who have passed away, which I think is a real cool thing. And I think that's something that we'd like to start some type of tradition like that in our household. But yeah, I mean, the movie is visually like it's insane. Like, especially when he crosses over the bridge, the pedal of bridges, or the bridge of pedals, and he looks over and you hear this classic, I mean, this type of like Latin music, and then you see all the colors of the buildings, like neon, orange, green, blue, things like that. I mean, it's beautiful. But I really enjoyed this movie. I think I've probably seen it over 20 times, at least with Jordan. Yeah, I think the acting was phenomenal. The visual, I remember watching this behind the scenes thing where I think they were working on this for like 10, 15 years, weren't they?
Yeah.
It's from 2011 to 2017.
Oh, wow.
It's the...
Yes, I mean, that's crazy for that. I know they, like you said, they went down into Mexico City and things like that to do research and take pictures, and I think that's really cool for them to do that, to make sure they get everything right, and they're not just making up things because of from what they hear of what Mexican people do or what Mexican families do, and I think that was a really cool thing for them to do.
You're right though, like the colors, they're really good, because I've never liked the colors. I was like, I don't get those colors. Just don't get it. Yeah. And then they did like a really good job with it, and I'm like, oh no, I get it now. I get it now. And then the spirit animals are too awesome.
Dia De Los Muertos colors, or just like Pixar doing colors?
No, the Dia De Los Muertos colors. The Hispanic colors. Like, I'm not a fan of bright colors. I'm kind of a dark person.
It definitely was this movie.
Yeah, and they kind of made like me acceptable to it. But like, it's at this, like I said, it really opened my eyes a lot. And like
the alebrijes, those are so cool. I thought that was a really cool thing, and how Dante turns into one. Towards the end, which I wasn't expecting, but that was really pretty cool.
I looked up those hairless dogs. They're badass looking.
Yeah, they look really cool. It kind of made me want to get one at one
they're
point.
Super expensive, though.
Yeah, hairless things always are. Except if you're a bald man, you're not expensive. You're kind of cheap.
They're almost, I think, because my friend is a breeder down in TJ, and they said that they're close to extinction. Yeah, because a lot of people would not like wouldn't care because it's a native dog to Mexico. So they're trying to breed it as much as they can, just so we could have.
Yeah, just give it to one like Hollywood. Give it to Paris Hilton. You'll sell 20 of them.
Like, that's hot.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, it's hot. He makes me like tamales.
But yeah, this is such a fun movie, and like I said, I definitely learned a lot of things about. I am half white, half Mexican. I look like neither, but I think it was really fun to learn about this side of my family, or culture at least, because I don't really get exposed to that growing up with my white side of the family. So that was actually really interesting and fun to kind of see that side, and also kind of, I don't know, just explore that and kind of try to implement that into our future family things.
Nice.
Yeah, I noticed a lot this past year on Instagram where people have little corners of their house dedicated to it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's mainly because of Coco.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Attribute that to that movie.
Because it doesn't have to be, to me, I didn't like how big that whole thing was. Mm-hmm. Like, it takes over everything, blah, blah. But, like, I like how they did that small little area for it, and they could do that. So I've seen a lot of photos of friends and stuff that I went to high school with. I'm like, you never once talked about this shit, motherfucker. And now they're doing it with their family. And like Natalie even mentioned, that'd be kind of cool to do down the line. I'm like, absolutely, that'd be really neat to do. And then I made a joke. I'm like, well, that's why there's such big Mexican families. Those fuckers don't ever want to die. They always want to be remembered. That and the Catholic Church, they keep going popping out kids.
Right?
Yeah. If you don't know, like, Catholic Church doesn't believe in birth control.
I guess I'll take my take on it, so Wes could go after. It's a very high and playful pop culture styled movie, dude, and it's culturally sensitive piece, you know. So, and Pixar has definitely raised the animation bar, and nothing comes close to Pixar's projects, especially what they've made in the past few years, you know. And they definitely threw a good message, dude, of bringing people together, you know what I mean? And it's a good reminder that this came out like now than later. So, like, and I can see why Chris said, like, why don't they embrace it and put it on blast more? And it goes to show in the movie, like if you follow the movie, you fucking when you embrace something, sometimes it gets stolen, dude. And it happens in the movie itself where fucking what's his name, dude? Ernesto fucking steals fucking Hector's songs and shit. So it's hard to embrace shit when fools are like out there like that, willing to take your shit, dude. And it's hard to like put it on blast. And like I could feel why we would be a little more secretive. But if we could keep it amongst ourselves and keep boasting, it would be just as good. Like, you know what I mean? Like how African Americans are boasting their shit so much. Like it's just good. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you kind of understand what I'm saying. But yeah, dude,
I totally agree with you. And again, it's not about telling culture, but also just like in general educating, you know. Mm-hmm. And that's what and that's the thing that some people lose people in. It's the fact that they're all about selling and not about teaching. And that's what I love about Coco. It actually teaches you, like James and Chris say.
Let me give you a taste of my Mexican. Okay, I fully don't speak Spanish like all that, like how with Diego, but I understand like some things about it, and like a little bit above, like I guess the certain average American, I guess. But you know, I grew up in a family. We since I guess I don't speak Spanish. People would come up to me and be like, "You're white, dude." I'm like, "What the fuck? Hell no! Look at my skin, bro. I'm fucking like you. Like, come on, man. There's a lot of fucked up shit like out here like that." And I'm just like, "Bro, I know I don't speak like you, but like, come on. Like, I probably do other shit like that's just as good as a Mexican. You know what I mean? I make music. I'm artistic, and it just sucks that for me growing up in this fashion." it's hard out here. Like